instead of going to the left to the daycare because I got called and said I didn't have a case. And I instantly said in my head, well, I'm done for the day and go home.
Man, you
And
love
when
my
I came home,
son.
instead
Even
of going to the daycare, I came home. And I didn't know he was in, I forgot he was back there. I am so sorry.
really.
It's your boy, Family TV.
Don't you?
That's what police say led to a child's death. The 3-year-old left in a hot car for hours.
It is tragic. WVTM 13's Bryce Oslin is live at BPD headquarters. Bryce, police say the little boy was in DHR's custody when this happened.
Small, brilliant, bright little child. I'm talking about. When I say yeah.
Man, it's crazy, man. These folks still leaving these children and these hiding these cars by themselves, man.
You're respectful.
This is how Katorius Starks Sr. remembers his 3-year-old son. Katorius Starks Jr. was found dead hours after being left in a hot car.
I know in between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, I say 12:15, he should have been back at the daycare.
Fam, today, in this video, I really need y'all to lock in with me because something about this story just don't sit right. And I couldn't let it go without bringing it to y'all attention. We're talking about a young child in Alabama, a child who was taken from his parents by DHR, the very system meant to protect him. But instead of being placed somewhere safe, he was put in a situation that turned deadly just hours later. Now, we'll later go over the details on how this situation turned deadly. But let's just say, after reading the details, fam, you can only imagine that this child had suffered, allegedly by the same person who was supposed to care and protect them under the state's watch. And to make matters worse, days have passed, and still there have been no arrests, no charges, and no word from DHR. The family's left in silence, still waiting, still grieving, and still without justice. So today, we're gonna shine light on this case. We'll go over what DHR really is, and how and
He died in the custody.
why a child might be taken from their home, and the questions that need to be answered. What does justice look like for this family? And what would it look like to you? We'll also pay our respects to this innocent child, whose final moments I can only imagine were filled with fear and pain. And yes, we'll also hear from the individual allegedly responsible. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it.
Shout out to Family TV.
Before we get into the heartbreaking details of this case, I think it's important that we all understand what DHR is and how this system, designed to protect children, can sometimes become the very thing that leads them into harm's way. In Alabama, the Department of Human Resources, also known as DHR, is an agency responsible for protecting children from abuse, neglect, and unsafe environments. On paper, their job is to step in when a child's safety is at risk, to place them in a safer home, whether it's with a relative, a foster family, or sometimes even group care. And in many situations, DHR can be a gift. There are children right now who are alive because someone stepped in and removed them from a home full of violence, addiction, or neglect. But here's where the gift turns into a curse. When DHR moves too fast, when they listen to reports without full investigations, when they place children into foster care with the people who are not fully vetted or don't have the mental capacity to care for a child, that's when things go terribly wrong. Here's some reasons DHR might remove a child from their parents: physical abuse, asset abuse, unsafe conditions, parental drug use, medical neglect, or abandonment. But let's be real, fam. Sometimes that decision is made without a full understanding of what's really happening in that home. Sometimes it's based on false allegations from a bitter ex, a noisy neighbor, or someone with an agenda. And when that happens, when a child is taken from their loving parents and placed in a stranger's care without proper vetting, it's no longer about safety. It's about neglect by the system itself. And that brings us to the story we're covering today. A child removed from their home by DHR, only to end up dead just hours later. Not from illness, not from abuse at home, but allegedly from being left in a burning hot car by someone DHR themselves approved to care for him. And now, the family asking the same thing we all are. How could this happen? Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025, officers responded to a vehicle on the 1500 block of Pine Tree Drive in Birmingham, Alabama. The vehicle was in the driveway of a private residence. It was not running and the windows were rolled up. When officers approached the window, they noticed a kid that seemed unresponsive. That kid was later identified as Conturious.
I think they did that on purpose. Tell me what y'all think about it. Drop it in the comments.
KJ Starks Jr., just 3 years old. He lived in Bessemer. Authorities quickly noticed that he was deceased. May he rest in peace. And at that point,
Allegedly.
they wanted to know, how did it get to this? They immediately searched the residence of that driveway, allegedly the home of Kelly Stanford, according to KJ's family, who posted it via social media.
That's what police say led to a child's death. The 3-year-old left in a hot car for hours.
It is tragic. WVTM 13's Bryce Oslin is live at BPD headquarters. Bryce, police say the little boy was in DHR's custody when this happened.
Yeah, the Birmingham Police Department say they were called to the Spring Lake area after he was found by first responders. His father says it was routine for him to be picked up by the Department of Human Resources, but he never would have thought that one of those rides would be his son's last.
Small, brilliant, bright little child. I'm talking about, when I say yeah, respectful.
This is how Cotorius Starks Sr. remembers his 3-year-old son. Cotorius Starks Jr. was found dead hours after being left in a hot car.
I know in between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, I'd say 12:15, he should have been back at the daycare.
Police say a contract worker with the Alabama Department of Resources left the child unattended on Pine Tree Drive.
Like when he leave me, he's supposed to go right back to the daycare.
The Alabama Department of Human Resources says the employee has been terminated.
So the daddy say when the child left him, the child supposed to went back to the daycare, but she took the child somewhere else.
His foster parent drops him off at daycare. The transporter of DHR picks them up from daycare and then bring him to the DHR building in Bessemer to have supervised visitation.
The Starks family wants the worker to be held accountable beyond losing their job.
Because it was neglect. I feel personally that he was neglected, and that's the true cause of his death.
Starks Sr. says he hopes to uplift his family by remembering his son's life.
Yes, man. I'm talking, I knew how to count, knew his colors, 3 years old. Knew
Man,
all the animals. I'm talking about, he was very intelligent.
Yes, he was, bro. He was real nice and all that.
Like, he was just joyful.
Yeah.
And BPD say the worker in question is cooperating with their investigation. No word if any charges will be filed, and we have yet to hear about funeral arrangements. Live in Birmingham, Bryce Oslin, WVTM.
Now, it's been almost a week. Birmingham Police Department or DHR has yet to come to this family and say they at least apologize, let alone have some charges against the perpetrator who left that kid inside that car. And because of that, less than 24 hours from me making this video, the family had went to social media and said the following. Birmingham Police Department have till this evening to bring charges against a woman who took my nephew to her home that left him in a 104-degree car that reached up to 150 degrees. Also had the nerve to call my brother phone to show no remorse of what she done that I also have recorded. To go home, cook for her family, but suffocate and dehydrate my nephew, or I'm publicly going to release anyone's names involved and pictures. DHR and transporter daycares, since y'all can't release a mugshot with no charges. Hashtag justice for KJ. 24 hours went and the family did just that. They said this was the alleged judge for the case. They said this is the DHR worker that didn't give a cause of death, allegedly. And they also leaked the phone call of the DHR worker who allegedly picked up their child. Check it out.
And when I came out, instead of going to the left to the daycare because I got called and said I didn't have a case, and I instantly said in my head, well, I'm done for the day and go home.
Man, you
And
love
when
my
I came
son,
out, instead
even.
of going to the daycare, I came home. And I didn't know he was in, I forgot he was back there. I am so sorry.
Really? Don't you?
How you didn't know that child was in that car?
Baby, you got us sick over here. We can't breathe. You left a 3-year-old in a car. He couldn't defend himself. You ain't tried. You supposed to look in your back seat when you knew that it was a child with you from the get-go. You're not right. The Lord not gonna bless you, and it's nothing that you can call and say to make him feel better. That's wrong.
I'm not trying to make him feel better. I'm not. That's
You
nothing
need
I
to
can
go
say
turn
to make
yourself
none of y'all
into the
feel
county
better.
jail because
I'm
you
so
took his
sorry.
baby.
Sorry, sorry, don't even express.
You killed his baby.
It's your boy Shut Up there. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get back to it.
That's what I'm telling you. You killed his baby. It's nothing that you can say to make him feel better. Every time he went to a visit, you rushed him. You wouldn't even let him have a decent time with his baby. Every time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that you rushing the process. But you left a baby in the car for 5-6 hours. That don't make any sense, ma'am.
I'm truly. I'm sorry is not even enough to express how bad I feel. I am so sorry for your family. I'm so sorry for your family. And I offer my condolences to the sincerest. That was not my intention. I promise you I wouldn't have done that to your son.
He don't even have nothing to say to you, ma'am. Every time you brought that baby to a visit, you rushed us to see him. But you left that baby in that hot car and you went inside your home and you was in there under air comfortably. And this baby died in a car. He suffocated. He didn't have no help, no nothing. You got the child safety lock on the doors. You didn't think to look in the back seat?
No, ma'am, I did not. I didn't even get when I got the car. Normally when I come up in the garage, my husband's car was in the driveway, and I parked on the side. I was aware until I got a call from the foster parent. Like I said, I wouldn't have done that on purpose. I wouldn't have killed no child.
So how far is your home from the daycare?
My home from the daycare is about a good 15 minutes.
So you telling me you skipped all past his school?
Yet and still, no charges has been brought against anyone affiliated with this case. And as of today, he went to Facebook within the last 24 hours of me doing this video and said the following. My last words to my son, they keep playing in my head. Dad, what you doing? Taking a picture of you. Dad, well, let me take one of you. And these are the results we got. #justice for KJ. Now, fam, we can't bring this child back, but what we can do is make sure his name doesn't fade into silence. If DHR is going to have the power to take children from their families, they also need to be held accountable when they fail to protect them. This wasn't just a tragic mistake. This was a system failure, and the silence from officials speak volumes. If you're watching this and you believe in justice for the voiceless, for the forgotten, then share this story and speak that child's name. Because if we don't speak up, they'll just keep sweeping these stories under the rug. Rest in peace, little one. We pray your cries weren't in vain. Fam, let me know how you guys feel about this one. You know it's important we protect the babies. Don't forget to like and subscribe.